Man, I haven't felt chest pec decimation like that in a while. Good morning. Welcome back to another cold day here in the home gym. It's funny how the weather turns on a dime. Yesterday it was tolerable, fairly workable, usable, nothing to write home about. And now this morning there's literally some snow on the ground, and my Siberian dogs are loving it, loving life. I say snow, but for those of you who actually know what snow is, like where I grew up as well, it's nothing to actually talk about either. It's barely a dusting. I can literally still see grass. We've got a push day today, hitting shoulders and chest pretty hard. We're going to be starting off with shoulders, and we're going to be taking some sets to failure. I'm looking forward to some of these exercises in particular. I'm going to be doing something different today with my Y raises, my cable lateral raises. I have these exercise balls that I found. I believe my wife bought them when she was pregnant. They're for like massaging like a sore spot on your back or on your foot. They're basically like a hard tennis ball or like a racket ball even. Or I meant to say a softer tennis ball or like a larger racket ball. Um, they are somewhat firm, and I'm going to use them to grab when I'm doing my lateral raises, and I'm going to do them cuffed today. I've been doing these with the handlebar. I'm doing other lateral raise variations with the cuffs as well. I'm doing behind the back lateral raises in that manner. But I'm going to do today's crossbody lateral raises in that manner as well with the cuffs, and I'm going to try it with the holding the ball in my hand to see if that gives me some extra, squeeze, so to speak, in that movement, an ability to crank out maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit more power, a little more volume, intensity, whatever it might be. Just something to kind of grab onto, I think will be a nice change of pace for that type of movement. So we're going to get right after it. I'm feeling pretty tired today, little tired, didn't get as much sleep as I'd wanted, but with the increased calories this week from the cut, I'm feeling fairly energized. So that's wonderful news. All right, we're going to get everything set up here for some shoulder presses and get right after it. See you there. All right, time for a working set here. Did a few sets to get nice and warmed up. Repeated the weight a couple times, even on a few of them, just to do the weight, give a small break, and then do it again. Just to, again, get a couple more reps in there. We're gonna go with 140 here. We're gonna be doing drop sets again on these. So I've structured. You can see I've got a hodgepodge of plates on here. Probably can't see that one. You can see this one. Got two tens and two fives on the top of the stack here. 140 total pounds between the two arms in iron weight. So when we do our drop set, we'll lose some of those plates. Not sure which ones just yet. I'm thinking a minimum a 10 and a 5, maybe another 5 on top of that too, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're going to do 2 regular sets though, trying to crank out 10 to 12 reps here, and we're going to get after it. Let's do it. That's tough. Doable, barely, but tough. Whew. We're not going to give up on that. We're going to do the same weight again. That's just too much. We're gonna drop it down here a bit. We're gonna take off those 10s and 5s right now. And keep going with our set here. That's just too much. It's not giving me the type of contraction I want, the ROM I want, any of that stuff. All right, so let's talk about what happened there. In my notebook last week, I wrote, I did 140, and what I saw was I did it on the second set and on the third set. And between those, and I'd have to go look again just to see exactly how it unfolded, but on one of them, I did like 10 reps of the 10 to 12, and on the other, I did 8. I believe the 8 was the second set where we're going to do our drop set. So looking at it this morning, I'm like, I'm feeling good. I think we can start at 140. I think that'll be fine. And then we can start there, hopefully hit our reps early on, and then have to reduce the weight, which is basically exactly what panned out. But I was really, really, really hoping that it was going to feel smoother and just more buttery, honestly. And those reps were a slog, every single rep, unfortunately. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I didn't really like the way my form was shaping up. I certainly wasn't going to stop after only 5 reps on that second set. So what we're going to do on these, we're going to keep it at this weight. This is going to be just 90 pounds, actually. 95 pounds, rather. 90 pounds. We're going to keep it right here for this last set. Crank out these reps with as much control as we possibly can, and then we're going to drop the 10s off and do our drop set for as many as we can possibly do. That should work out. Should be fine. This happens. It's training, right? Adapting, overcoming. Oh, okay, I'm happy with that. That worked out, and it felt pretty damn good. So the weight overall was lighter than when we did it last week, but that's okay. That's not the end of the world. We got a good shoulder pump starting to form over here. So we're gonna get a drink of water, put these weights away, and we're gonna move on to some lateral raises. All right, so this is the ball I was talking about. It's just a little ball, that size of your palm. Nothing crazy. High bounce pinky. I don't know what that means. I think that's the brand. I don't even think it's very bouncy. I mean, it's kind of bouncy, but not very. Yeah, I mean, not really overall. But it's pretty firm while still being a bit squishy. It gives a little bit of something to hold on to here. So we're going to be trying these crossbody raises here with this in our hand. Again, just to see if it gives us a little extra something here on the movement itself to grip onto and to help force that contraction. Let's give it a go. yeah, I'm really liking that. That's fantastic. We are going to add this to the repertoire here when we do these, any kind of wrist strapped races like this. Those are getting me pretty toasty there. I don't know if you noticed, I shortened the chain just a little bit on the last one so I could get true across my body at the bottom of that movement. And I really am focusing on getting it up as a Y raise, getting it above parallel with the ground here. I'm getting a good 45-degree angle up here. That's what I'm aiming for. Am I achieving it on every rep? I don't know. You be the judge. I'm trying my best though. So let's do one more set here. We're going to do these myo reps to really kill the shoulders here before we move over to dips. Great idea, I know. It's not a good idea. That sounds. The smart part of my brain literally just was like, those are going to be horrible if you destroy your shoulders. But that's okay. That means my chest will have to work more, which is really what we're trying to work when we do those. Get after it. Last set here with myo reps. Oh, it hurts so good. It hurts. Oh man, it hurts. But it hurts really good. Come on, one more. All right, I think the camera died there in that last myo rep, but that was horrible. That was it was. Let me rephrase that. That was terrible, painful, but the best kind of terrible and painful. And I can't wait to do them again. But we still got one more side to do. So let's destroy this side just as much as we destroyed this side, and see if we're in that much pain over here as well. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Toasted. Okay. All right. I'm loving using the ball here to grip. That's really it. Just having that something to squeeze onto as you're lifting it. Oh man, it makes a big difference. Okay, time for some dips. Alrighty, we're gonna be setting these up again with a 35-pound plate here to use as additional weight, but I am also going to be setting up the band for assists should we end up needing it. I don't know that we will. We will see. But if we do need it, I want it to be set up and ready so that we can essentially just kick our feet onto it and have that, that boost that we need to help us get back up here and take off some of that weight. Because we are going to be trying to do these as slow and as controlled as possible to get the maximal benefit out of it. All right, we're going up in weight this time. I'm tired of messing around. We're going to go right to 45 here. So this should be a bit harder, which is what we need at the moment. That 35 felt tough, but not impossible. One thing I've always struggled with these is getting more out of my chest. I feel like when I do dips, really no matter how much weight I have, it's very easy to slip into using more of your shoulder. And actually, I feel like the heavier the weight gets, the easier it is to activate more and more and more of our shoulder. So that's why I'm always cautious about upping the weight too much. Having some shoulder activation here is not the end of the world, but I really want to drive the pec muscles here and use those to drive us up and slowly back down and holding at the bottom. So that's going to be the focus. We'll see if we can make that happen here and use some mind-muscle connection to drive us up. Definitely feeling it in the shoulders. Had some chest though, which is nice. Let me know in the comments how you guys get the maximal effort out of your dips, what cues you find work for you. Let's share some of that knowledge. I feel like it's a simple movement from a how to execute it standpoint, but it's one of those that's actually difficult to master. So let's spread some knowledge and awareness. What are you guys doing for your dips to really focus on that pec contraction and not just drive with your shoulders and your triceps? Yeah, that one I felt was more shoulder dominant there. Man, it's hit or miss with those. That's okay. We did get the work in there. All right, we're going to go over to some dumbbell flies over here, a little bit heavier, and really destroy these pecs. Let's get after it. All right, let's hop right into these.
Those are some of the toughest flies we've done in a minute. I mean, wow. We were really feeling that stretch there. That's the best feeling. Dang. Now, we're really focused right now on the long length partials for these. Whenever I do flies, dumbbell flies especially, I am always going to be focused on getting long length partials with them to varying degrees. There may be times when I'm only going to come up, it's going to be tough to see from that angle, but I'm going to go all the way down as far as I can for a nice deep stretch, and then I might only come up halfway. Other times I may come up a little more than that, 3/4. But I am always going to be trying to avoid being stacked over my shoulder to lose that tension. We've got one more set of these. That first set was brutal, painful in a really good way. But this one's probably going to be a little bit worse. Let's do it. That's it. Man, I haven't felt chest, pec decimation like that on a fly in a while. That's good. I'm glad we did it. Okay. 2 more exercises. We're going to be doing some overhead cable work here for triceps. And we got an ab exercise. I guess we're going to do ab wheel. We should do the ab wheel. That's what I'll say. Let's do it. All right. Time for some tricep work here and some ab work. We've got our push downs here. With this, actually, I just realized I want to do overhead. I mean, we could do overhead with these. I usually use the rope when I do it. We'll do it with these. We'll give it a shot. And then we've got our ab wheel set up over here as well on the ground, if you can see that. We're going to be doing our supersets. So no rest between these. We're just going to go, knock them out, crank them out, and get these executed. Let's hit it. Oh. All right, I lost count on those ab wheels. I think I did at least 15, but I lost count. These were a little light compared to when I used the rope, which is very interesting to me. So we're going to up the weight now. We're at 70. I'm actually going to go right to 90 on these. We'll see how that is. Hopefully we don't overdo it.
These were a little light. So we're going to up the weight.
Okay, 90 was too much. Couldn't even get it down. That's the trouble that I have with these overhead extensions, is just getting into the position, honestly. If I put a chain on here which helps lower this a bit, it makes it a little easier, but we don't need to do that right now. We're just going to lower it to 80 and then chase after doing some reps here. Oh, that's the right weight. Now, the tough part with these ab wheels, I've said this before, I end up feeling it more, or rather earlier, in my arms than I do in my abs. I feel it in my abs, but the exhaustion seems to hit my arms before it hits my abs. But we'll make do. And my shoulders. Yeah. Okay. One more. On these last ones, we're gonna do some hanging leg raises. I don't like how much shoulder work we're doing on those crunches over there. It's really taken away from me being able to focus on the mind muscle connection in my abs here. I'm feeling it right here, don't get me wrong, but I'd like some more focus on this versus that. Actually, we're gonna do them on the GHR over there, do some decline or unsupported crunches. Okay. Oh, as you saw, I couldn't do really more than whatever that was, 6, I think, at 80 pounds. So I stripped it all off down to 50. Ooh, and cranked out 10 more. The first few at 50, I was like, that's gonna be too light. But by the end there, I think you could see I was really having to use my body to get it extended and then just fight that negative, which was great. Felt fantastic. Let's quickly do some sit-ups and then go work on getting our day started. Okay. Wow. What a day that was today. Everything's hurting in a good way, But everything is hurting right now. It's that kind of hurt, that kind of soreness that's desired when you're working out. Hurt, honestly, is probably a little bit too far. I'm not hurt at all. But my goodness, are my triceps, shoulders, and chest just done. And my abs are feeling it too. I am going to do one more set on these though, because as I said, I just didn't feel like I was getting the mind-muscle connection I wanted on those. So I'm going to leave it with you guys here. I hope you have a good day. I had a high school principal I've never forgotten. His name was Joe Mueller, and the man was just an amazing human being. The perfect kind of principal that high schoolers need to be able to identify with and feel like they can have a connection with, and not just some superior being who sees himself as over the other students. He was an amazing man, and one thing he taught us was that every day we can get better every day, GBED. And I've never forgotten that. I think about that phrase all the time, And I think if we try to approach every day with a little bit of that magic to try to make it a little bit better, you're not going to make miles of improvements every day. But like with weightlifting, after a period of time, you're not going to make huge incremental improvements every week or every month even, but you can make small improvements to your form, your consistency, your attitude, your relationships, all of the things that make life what it is and give it that spice. So get out there, GBED it, and hopefully you can find that little thing to improve upon today and tomorrow and the next day. And in a year, a month, 10 years, you can look back and realize how much progress you've made. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for being here.